The war between the Andromedans and the Arcturians had lasted for nearly 2 centuries. The two alien empires had been locked in an endless, brutal conflict, one that neither side seemed capable of winning. With every victory came 1,000 losses, and with every defeat came 100 more attempts to turn the tide. Their battles were fought on an unimaginable scale, involving entire star systems and the destruction of planets. The galaxy had become a battlefield of broken worlds and ancient civilizations that had been swallowed by the ravenous maw of war. The Andromedans, with their vast intellect and highly advanced technology, were known for their mastery of strategy and manipulation of the quantum fabric of spacetime. They could move armies through folds in the fabric of reality, launching surprise attacks from dimensions that didn't exist a moment ago. They had a 1,000-year head start in the art of interstellar warfare, and their ships were equipped with weapons that could obliterate entire fleets in an instant. The Arcturians, a ruthless and war-hardened race of cybernetic organisms, had a strategy of attrition. They never backed down. No matter how many times they were struck, they rose again, refined, upgraded, and more deadly than before. Their ships were massive, capable of absorbing firepower that would have destroyed lesser crafts, and their soldiers were bioengineered to endure the worst the galaxy could throw at them. They fought with a singular purpose: victory at any cost. Then, there was Earth. Humanity had watched from the periphery of the war, struggling with its own growing pains as it slowly ascended from the depths of its turbulent past into the stars. They had long admired the prowess of the alien races in their technology and warfare, but they had never been involved in the conflict. Humanity's spacefaring efforts had been modest, yet determined. They were still growing, learning, and evolving, mostly on the outer edges of the galaxy. That was, until the day the war came to them. Chapter 1: The Arrival. It began with a strange signal, a transmission that seemed to carry the weight of 1,000 voices. It was ancient, barely recognizable, and impossibly powerful. For weeks, the greatest minds on Earth scrambled to decipher it. The signal appeared to come from deep in the galactic core, an area that was considered too dangerous for normal travel, the space inhabited only by voids and anomalies. But this signal, this strange echo, seemed to be directed toward Earth. The moment the signal was decoded, humanity learned the shocking truth. The Andromedans and Arcturians had agreed on a ceasefire, but their truce had been broken. The battle that had ravaged the galaxy for 2 centuries was now about to reach its boiling point, and Earth, unwittingly, was caught in the crossfire. Chapter 2: The War Council. The decision was unanimous. Though made in haste, humanity would have to defend itself. Despite their technological limitations compared to the Andromedans and Arcturians, Earth's military leaders knew they could not remain passive. A unified global force was created overnight. The best minds in AI, weaponry, and space travel combined their efforts to prepare Earth for the conflict. But they were not alone. The Andromedans, with their advanced quantum manipulation and psychic prowess, detected humanity's reaction almost instantly. They saw the humans as potential threats to their dominance. Answer: the Andromedans deployed their fleet, massive ships that materialized in the solar system without warning. Their first action was to obliterate the Earth's moon, reducing it to a field of floating debris. The message was clear: stand down, or you too will be reduced to nothing. The Arcturians, ever the opportunists, saw this as a chance to exploit their enemies. They sent their own forces, hulking dreadnoughts, war machines that would have terrified any other species. Their ships' guns blazed, shattering the remains of the moon and sending shockwaves through Earth's atmosphere. It was a display of raw power, meant to frighten humanity into submission. Humanity, however, would not be cowed. Chapter 3: The Awakening. In the wake of the Andromedan and Arcturian bombardments, Earth's leaders convened one last time, ready to face extinction. But they had one thing the aliens didn't: something ancient, something primal, something that neither the Andromedans nor the Arcturians could understand. Humanity had an innate drive to survive. At the heart of the war effort, a quiet revolution was taking place. The brightest minds in artificial intelligence, bioengineering, and quantum mechanics had discovered something that would change the course of the war. The humans had developed a technology capable of bending reality itself, an echo of the Andromedan quantum manipulation, but more crude and far more dangerous. It was called the Event Horizon Protocol. The protocol wasn't just a weapon, it was a catalyst. By tapping into the deep quantum structures of the universe, humanity could force open rifts in spacetime, creating corridors that would warp the battlefield itself. And it was ready for deployment. Chapter 4: First Contact. The first rift opened near the outskirts of Earth's atmosphere, a shimmering tear in the fabric of reality. From it emerged ships, human-made, but nothing like what the Andromedans or Arcturians had ever seen. The ships were compact, agile, and capable of appearing and disappearing at will. They were powered by a technology the aliens had never encountered, a fusion of human ingenuity and something darker, an energy source from beyond the stars. It was the first sign that humanity was no longer just a bystander. Moments after the rift opened, the Andromedans and Arcturians realized something was wrong. Their fleets, their ships, their weapons, they couldn't track the new arrivals. The human ships moved in a disjointed, erratic pattern, warping space itself to dodge enemy fire. No matter how many times the Arcturian dreadnoughts fired their weapons, they couldn't land a single blow. Each time they attempted to target a ship, it vanished into the folds of space and reappeared somewhere else. It was a blur of motion, something out of the aliens' understanding. Then, without warning, the Event Horizon Protocol was activated in full. The skies above Earth shattered as rifts multiplied across the battlefield. Human ships poured from them like waves crashing upon the shore. But they weren't alone. Earth's defenses had been underestimated by both the Andromedans and Arcturians. Humanity's combined forces had developed a fleet of AI-controlled drones, powerful kinetic weapons, and quantum disruptors, each ship an extension of human will. The first battle lasted less than 30 minutes. In that time, the Andromedans were forced to retreat, their fleet reduced to nothing but a scattering of debris. The Arcturians, so confident in their cybernetic superiority, fell into disarray as their ships were incapacitated by the sudden onslaught. Their internal systems were overridden, their ships rendered immobile, and their soldiers, trained to fight to the death, were unable to even move. And then, the final weapon was deployed, the human-made singularity bomb. It wasn't a nuclear weapon. It wasn't anything the Andromedans or Arcturians could have ever conceived of. It was a micro-black hole, small enough to be contained in a ship's core, but with enough power to consume a star. The singularity bomb was dropped into the heart of the Arcturian fleet. In the span of 5 hours, 5 short, unbelievable hours, the war was over. Chapter 5. Aftermath. In the silence that followed the obliteration of the Andromedan and Arcturian forces, humanity stood victorious. The remaining remnants of the two great empires had no choice but to sue for peace. Their arrogance had cost them dearly. They had underestimated humanity, assuming that Earth was just another primitive species. In the end, it was that very underestimation that led to their defeat. Humanity's victory was not just one of technological prowess. It was a victory of spirit, a victory of willpower, and the galaxy would never forget it. The survivors of the war, those who had once fought for an endless future of destruction, looked upon humanity's new empire in awe. The humans had brought peace, and in doing so, had proved to the stars that they were not to be underestimated. In the aftermath, as humanity rebuilt, the leaders of Earth made a single declaration: no war would be fought in their name again. The cost of victory was too great, and the horrors of the conflict too recent. The Andromedans and Arcturians would be forced to adapt to a new reality, one where humanity had entered the galactic stage not as pawns, but as kings. And so, the war was over, its conclusion so swift, so decisive, that it seemed almost impossible. But the stars would remember, when humanity entered the war, victory took only 5 hours.